I wanted to share my day because it was really, really cool. Um, when I was started going on this disability, trust me, I was so angry at the system and everything that's wrong with it, medical, education, politics, legal system. You name it, it's like, what's working? Which part do we have it right? Because I sure as hell didn't see any of it. And while we aren't seeing any of it, a lot of people doing a lot of really hurtful things towards me. And um, it was like I was trying to explain to everybody, do you know how wrong this is? Do you know how wrong this is? Do you know how wrong this is? And nobody wanted to know how wrong it was. They just were, oh, there's something wrong with you. And it's like, you're hitting me over the head with a hammer. You're beating the crap out of me, and you're telling me that I'm the one that's crazy. It's stop hitting me with that hammer. You know, but they don't want to. So when I went on this disability, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, the writing was really hard to read, but what I did read in there was they described me as a troublemaker. And I was at the stage where, you know what? Fine, I stop. I ain't fighting you guys anymore. I ain't gonna do whatever the hell you want to do because I'm done. I am not gonna have this fight and try to fix anything. And, if they wanted to call me crazy, it's like, well, they wanted to give me a paycheck, while they were causing me crazy. And it's like, well, I could use a vacation. It's been really rough. You know, muscles were killing me, my joints were deteriorating. In order to regain the health that I was losing, I really needed time off. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to fight with you people. I'll just focus on me and heal my body from all of the crap that was going on. So, that a lot of reasons that I try to stay away from people is because I do see patterns. I see things other people don't see, and people don't want to hear it. Um, that has been something that's been going on all my life. I've made other videos on that. That I think it's like somebody else that can see dead people. You assume everybody else can see all of those dead people, and then you find out no, it's just you. And then you got to kind of understand, okay, who's real and who isn't when you see dead people. Not that I see dead people, but it's sort of the same thing. I see things that it's like, how come nobody else sees it? How come it's not obvious to you that you cannot see this? and and it's when you think something is that obvious, it just flows within your conversation. And even my kids, they would always tell me, during this divorce, and they're all sort of turning into their father, they would all say that the way I talk is offensive. And all it was is, I'm seeing things that you don't see, and I'm assuming that you already see it, but you don't. That has been my biggest lesson, is other people just don't see it. And so I know, I fully understand. People don't want the answers. People want to be stuck in their problems. That's part of what I see. I see them all complaining all of the time, and they tell me why they're doing it. And so when I tell them back why they're doing it, that is the insult. And it's like, wait a minute, I didn't tell you why you're doing it. You told me why you're doing it. You can't even see that you told me this. It's almost like I wish I had a tape recorder every time I have a conversation with people so I can show them, you know, the words that they use, because we don't really notice the words that we use. Anyways, while I'm seeing so many things wrong, and while I feel the need to correct some people's harmful behaviors, like make my complaints to the government or um, you name it. There's what is right. Nothing's working right. And I would have thought everybody was right about me being a troublemaker and, crazy. I would have believed that maybe 50 years ago, but everybody else is, well, not everybody, but people are starting to see the same things as I see. So, and my research proves that no, I was right. So, today, my point is, while we're all noticing a lot of the things that are wrong in our world, do you ever see anything right? And what do you do when you see something right? For me, um, when we put a negative out there, it's putting a suggestion. Even if the action is there, you paying attention to it and you putting words and you having any kind of conversation, even if it's a complaint, you are building on it because that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on the problem. And if we're going to focus on the problem, then that means we're making the problem grow. Very few actually focus on the solution. So, and it still works by suggestion. What do you want to suggest out into your world? Because what you suggest, it gets created. So if you see anything good in the world, go out and compliment them. And that's what I did today. And it's just so freaking amazing. It's magic when you do it. And it isn't so much that there is no good in the world. It's more that, if you're angry because of some of the shit that's gone on, you're always going to be viewing through angry eyes. And that's why you see, a lot of negative shit, because that negative is inside you because you're angry. But I haven't been out for a long time, and going to the gym on a regular basis is, kind of cool, getting around people, and there's lots of people there. And the gym is just beautiful. It is absolutely big gym equipment on the top. They've got um, cardio equipment that actually have your own personal TV there. It's a wide MCA. And I hate nonprofits, but these guys are doing it right. They are more focused on community and they are structured so they can be sustain themselves and not be raising money all the time. They fund themselves through memberships. If they build a building, then they do some fundraising for that, but it's owned sort of basically, it's kind of like in the eyes of this is your community and you own this, and you can participate it by, having the membership. And I found out that the membership was pretty cheap for me, so they really worked with me. The whole building, remember, I'm super, super hypersensitive. So if there's negative in the room, pretty sure I'll feel it. And the vibe of this gym is like so loving, like, and helpful. It's so cool. So I've made my compliments to everybody. Today I filled out the form to make the compliment. I get out of the gym and in the parking lot I see the bus coming, and the bus is like a block and a half. The bus stop is a block and a half. So just a stupid idiot. As soon as I seen this bus coming, I start running, and yet I know I got to run up block and a half, and I'm half dead from working out. And it's a bus. He's not going to sit there and wait for me. And for some reason, the guy noticed me, and he waves his hand, and as if to say, "Keep running, and I'll wait for you." I damn near died running towards this bus. I was like crawling the sides of this bus just when I was getting to that door, and in my mind I'm thinking there's people on that bus that are probably pissed off because they had to sit there and wait to get me. Meanwhile, there's just two other people there that were on disability too, and they were probably just going for a ride, and they got time to kill. They were older too, so, and they were really, really friendly. And so when I got on the bus, naturally I couldn't breathe for a long time. I was like really, really, really dead. And this bus driver is so nice and so loving, and he's like, don't sit down. You cannot sit down when you can't breathe like that. He's like, stand up and just breathe this way. And then when you get to that stage, then breathe this way. And like, he was doing so much to just help me calm down. And he was telling me, you know, if you sit down when you're in that state, you have a good chance to have a heart attack, which is probably true. I just never paid attention to it. It was like, but it is that, you know, after you have a big workout, you need to slow down and move a little bit. But a definite stop can kind of jolt the body and probably cause a heart attack. So it was like, this guy was just like amazing. And I was late for this bus because I was writing, you know, a compliment to the other guys. So, you know, meanwhile, and this guy says, hey, I was so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And he says, well, why don't you go and, you know, phone the office and let them know that I did something good. And it's like, well, as a matter of fact, that's actually what I was planning on doing because it was all city. The city I didn't think the Y ran this building. I thought it was the city and the Y was within there that you can get a membership and use that, but apparently it is. Anyways, I knew I was going to be phoning the city to compliment them, the staff. I was going to go all out and write the notes and, you know, put it in the suggestion box, and I wanted to make a phone call. And it's like, what is it like when somebody, you did a job, but somebody phoned your boss and told you how good a job? I mean, what does that do for you when it happens to you? So that's why I kind of like doing it, because I know that. So anyways, I phoned this girl, got the head office, talked for quite some time, and she says, you know what, I'm getting off the phone and I'm phoning these people and letting them know that you've made this phone call, and so they'll just be pleased. So can you kind of see that if I walk in that building now, they're gonna be real nice to me? And it's like, they were already really, really nice to me, and it's like, now they're gonna be even more nice to me. Same with the bus. I did the same thing. And when I made the phone call, I was asking for the complaints department. Even with the YMCA, I was saying, do you have a complaints department? And they were like, yeah. And it's like, what's your complaint? And it's like, well, I don't have a complaint. I just figured you hear enough of those, I'd give you a compliment. So I did it with the same bus driver. So, and this guy comes, you know, driving that bus in the morning. So chances are I'm going to run into him. And it's like, my point is that when you can see something that's good and you actually go out of your way and let other people know how good, and you give them the compliment, then, you know, they're going to feel good, and then they're going to want to make you feel good. And it's like, it's a perfect network, because everybody's sort of like getting what they need. Everybody's enjoying everybody's company. This is where we kind of need to go, is, you know, go out of your way to find something good just so you can have the experience of complimenting them and then phoning their boss about it, because it's the coolest thing. I love doing shit like that. I love phoning in compliments more than I make a complaint. And at the end of the day, when you do it, it multiplies. When you make a complaint, that complaint builds. The problem, when you think you make a complaint and the problem will actually get solved, no. When you make a complaint, you increase the problem. When you make a compliment, you fix the problem. Because within everything that's wrong, if you can find out what's right, people love to hear what's right. So they'll focus all of their attention now on what's right because it felt so good. Meanwhile, they're not doing any of the bad shit because it ain't getting their attention anymore. But as long as you want to keep talking about it, it's going to grab their attention. And then it grows. So that's my message. Go out and give a compliment. Go out and, you know, not just go out and compliment one person. Phone somebody's boss. You get the idea. Peace out.